I still can't wrap my head around how my dream moved to this cozy little wooden house in the rolling hills of Willow Creek turned into a full-blown neighborhood war, right from the jump. Before I'd even unpacked a single box, this lady charges over like I'm some intruder casing the joint, phone in hand, already dialing the cops on speaker. There I was, Alex Thompson, 40-year-old software engineer finally ditching the city grind for a slice of quiet suburbia after grinding away at code for 2 decades. Hands trembling not from fear, but sheer excitement, as I pulled up that rented truck on a crisp Saturday morning, the kind where the air smells like fresh pine and promise. And bam, she's there. Karen Whitaker, the HOA queen bee, mid-50s with that perfectly frozen blonde bob and a polo shirt screaming, "I run this place!" Clipboard clutched like a weapon, snapping pics of my boxes as if they held state secrets. Her voice slicing through the piece. "Who do you think you are? Unloading without clearance. This is a violation. I'm calling it in right now." Her eyes narrowed like she was starring in her own detective show, and I just stood there, box cutter in hand, trying to play it cool while my stomach twisted. Why me? Why now? When all I wanted was to nestle my late grandma's china set safely inside what was finally legally mine after months of paperwork hell. She flips open one of my labeled boxes. Kitchen stuff. Nothing shady. And mutters about potential hazards, brushing off my deed like it was a fake coupon, her words dripping with that entitled suspicion born from years of lording over every lawnmower and mailbox in Willow Creek, probably because deep down, new folks like me threatened her iron grip on this tight-knit enclave she'd twisted into her personal fiefdom. "Anyone can forge papers these days," she snaps, dialing 911 with theatrical flair, putting it on speaker so the whole street could hear her declare me a suspicious trespasser disrupting our serene community. And I'm thinking, serene? It's 10 a.m. Birds chirping, and I'm whispering to myself to stay calm. But inside, that mix of confusion and rising anger bubbles up, wondering if I'd bought into a cult instead of a cul-de-sac. The wait for the cops felt eternal, her triumphant smirk hanging in the air like bad perfume, while a couple neighbors peeked out. Linda from next door, fidgety and wide-eyed, roped in as her reluctant sidekick, whispering something about proper protocols that even she didn't seem to buy. Karen waves them over, barking orders like a director on set. "Film this, Diane, Linda. We need evidence for the watch list." And they're nodding awkwardly, phones out. But their faces scream discomfort, like they knew this was overkill but feared crossing the queen. Me? I felt exposed, violated almost. My fresh start tainted by this power play rooted in her paranoia. Maybe she saw me as an outsider tech guy who wouldn't bow to her endless rules. Or perhaps it was jealousy over my prime lot she'd eyed for years. Whatever it was, it fueled her crusade. Then the cruiser rolls up, lights flashing but no siren, and out steps Officer Ramirez, tall, steady, with that no-nonsense vibe, and his face lights up like we're old pals at a barbecue. "Alex, man, haven't seen you since the department's fundraiser last fall? Raised what, 20 grand for the kids' programs?" The air shifts in an instant, that sweet reversal hitting like a plot twist in a feel-good flick. Ramirez shakes my hand, glances at my deed with a quick nod. "Looks solid to me. Congrats on the new digs." Completely sidelining Karen, whose jaw dropped so hard you could hear it clink on the gravel. His partner chimes in casually. "Yeah, Alex here's a legend with those charity drives. Whole precinct owes him for the gear upgrades." And suddenly Karen's emergency crumbles, her face flushing crimson as Ramirez turns to her gently but firm. "Ma'am, 911's for real crises, not moving days. Consider this a heads up. Misuse ties up lines that save lives." She stammers, "But he's violating HOA regs, noise, unregistered containers." And he just chuckles softly, eyeing my single box of plates. "Looks like standards settling into me, no ordinance broken," leaving her deflated clipboard limp, while neighbors start emerging, whispering with that mix of relief and schadenfreude, like they'd been waiting for someone to finally stand up to her reign of petty terror. But oh, she wasn't done. Escalation kicked in hard, her wounded ego fueling a petty blitz that tested my patience like never before, starting with violation stickers on my trash cans the next morning, orange tags screaming improper placement when mine matched everyone else's, her smirk from across the street saying, "This is just the warm-up." Inside, I seethed but strategized, my coder brain kicking in, auditing her moves like buggy software. While unpacking, I cranked some old rock tune softly on the porch, drawing folks out not with complaints but curiosity, like old Mr. Harlow ambling over. Need a hand with that sofa, son? These arms still got some lift after 70 years. Before long, 3 neighbors are heaving furniture, swapping stories about their own nightmare moves, laughing over coffee, turning my yard into this impromptu welcome party. And there she storms, red notices flying. Unauthorized assembly. All of you fined for aiding violations, Mr. Harlow stares at his paper, deadpans. Lady, helping a neighbor's now a crime? What's next? Tickets for breathing too loud. The backlash brewed quietly at first, her overreach cracking the facade she'd built on fear. Folks who'd tolerated her for years, scared of her rumor mill or endless fines, now murmuring in clusters, and Sarah Mitchell from down the block pulls me aside. She's been pulling this for ages, but you're the spark. Emergency meeting tomorrow. We're petitioning her out. My heart raced with that vindictive thrill, but deeper, a quiet resolve. This wasn't just about me anymore. It was dismantling a bully who'd twisted community into control. Her motives clear now. Lonely power hunger, maybe from losing her own influence elsewhere, turning HOA into her kingdom. At the packed clubhouse that night, she struts to the podium, laser pointer dancing over blown-up pics of my truck. This intruder flouts our sacred rules. Required supervision for all moves, 48-hour notice. But I stand, voice steady. Show us the vote minutes on that reg, Karen. Majority approval required, right? She fumbles, slams the podium. I decide what's best. You're barely tolerated here. And the retired attorney in front pipes up. Not how it works, ma'am. Unilateral tyranny's not in the bylaws. The room erupts in questions, her allies shrinking as signatures pile on the recall petition. 23 households overnight, over 60%, while Ramirez drops by with official flair, handing her a warning citation. Misuse documented, Mrs. Whitaker. Next time, fines up to 500. Emergency lines aren't your personal enforcer. She protests, voice cracking, but I'm protecting us from disruptors like him. Yet her defiance only seals it, eyes twitchy now, not sharp, as the vote tallies, 28-3, dethroned in the very room she'd ruled. She stands trembling. I apologize for wasting resources. The words forced, hollow, her empire crumbling under the weight of her own hubris. And days later, boxes in her car, she slips away quietly, defeated, disbelief etched on her face like she'd never imagined the backlash from one misplaced 911 call. Watching her taillights fade, I felt this profound quiet settle. Not gloating, but a deep exhale like shedding a weight I hadn't chosen. My house finally feeling like home amid new barbecues and garden tips from folks who'd found their voices too. Yet lingering in my mind, that nagging what if. Was she just a product of a system that lets petty tyrants thrive? Or did we all play a part by staying silent too long? Makes you wonder about the fine line between community watch and witch hunt, right? If you've tangled with a rogue HOA or seen power corrupt up close, drop your story in the comments. Did they deserve the boot? Or is there more to these neighborhood battles? Share, like, subscribe if this hit home, and let's keep the convo going. Who knows what drama's brewing in your backyard?